Hi,
Hi,
hi.
Anna.
How are you?
I'm very good. Thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Sorry, was in the middle of cooking, so I just quickly wrapped up and
That's
got.
absolutely okay. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you absolutely fine.
Okay, I guess we'll just wait for a couple more minutes and then we should be ready to roll.
Sure.
Really looking
Hi,
forward to this
everybody.
conversation with
Thank you,
you.
everybody, for joining. I have to stop touching my nose. My best friend keeps screaming at me all the time.
Okay, I think we'll start. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Insta Live with Hana Kumra. Hana, thank you so much for joining us today and being part of this
Thanks, Priyanka.
conversation with us. Um, Yeah, thank you. So we are here today to talk about domestic violence and a campaign that Breakthrough India has started with Give India called Unite Against DV. And DV here stands for domestic violence because uh, as all of us have been aware that in the last couple of months, the conversation around domestic violence having gone up as part of the lockdown is something that we are all aware of. Given the fact that it's been highlighted by the media, there have been a lot of celebrities and influencers who've actually given lent their voice to the issue, and it is something that a lot of dialogue has been generated around domestic violence. Breakthrough has been working on the issue of DV for the last 20 years, and as an organization that primarily works on violence against women, domestic violence has been a core issue that we have been working on. And while we'll talk about how it is something that has come or shot up during the lockdown. One of the things that I wanted to kind of table is the fact that while it's being looked as something that's come up during the lockdown, domestic violence was something that has existed before COVID happened, and it's going to carry on continuing. As part of the campaign that we are doing with Give India, the whole conversation is actually around citizen action, because one of the things that we really try to focus on is the fact that all of us as individuals have a role to play when it comes to DV. And while it's a problem that seems invisible to most of us, especially in a situation where we or somebody that we know hasn't been at the receiving end of it, it is actually
Yeah.
everybody's issue. And how can we act? How can we play our own role in trying to unite against DV, trying to take action in various different ways, where we can actually do something at an individual level, or there are a number of organizations that work on domestic violence, so we can donate to organizations who then go ahead and work in areas where DV is really somewhat of a bigger issue. As part of this campaign, we've also spoken about how the amplification of the issue through different voices that we can bring together is something that we wanted to focus on. So looking forward to this conversation, and seeing how is it that we can actually spread this message. Anna, I just wanted to start with trying to understand your own your own understanding of DV, and how is it that you perceived it? Have you ever come across any issues? What are your thoughts on it?
Thanks, Priyanka, first of all, having me for this conversation. I think it's a very important one. And I think through the lockdown, there are so many things that have suddenly cropped up. And every day there's a new matter. Every day we wake up to some news. Every day there's something happening. So, and I think also because people are home, it's kind of becoming crazier for all of us, because I think it's affecting us a lot more because we don't have anything to get distracted with. We're at home, we're working from home, but by the end of the day, everybody wakes up to the same news. Everybody wakes up to, some violence or somebody dying somewhere through COVID or, other circumstances. And it's obviously become sorry, I can't speak in Marathi. I don't know Marathi. Somebody asked me to speak in Marathi. Yeah, there are some really strange
Someone's
people who have
asking you to speak
extremely
in
good
Marathi.
sense. सॉरी यार मैं यूपी से हूँ मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकती हूँ लेकिन मुझे मराठी नहीं आती है but I'm just saying so I just feel that these are issues which are have been in and around our lives. We turn a very easy blind eye to it because we have never thought of really thinking about this as an issue, because ये हमारे लिए तो कभी issue रहा ही नहीं है ना.
Yeah.
It's a normal thing ना, like when you, I mean, like you and I were having this chat about conditioning and how like we've been conditioned to believe certain things and certain norms about ourselves over the period of time since the time we were born. Like, I'll tell you something. It's really simple. Like, मैं Lucknow की पैदाइश हूँ. I'm born and brought up there. And I was, although my mother's a police officer, I was always told 5 o'clock के बाद यार घर से बाहर मत निकलो unless you have some cousin taking you or you have somebody, you know, accompanying you because it's not safe. And rightly so, because I was always told कि भाई हमारी इज्जत हमारे हाथ में होती है and we really have to, you know, be careful about those things. And but you know, when I came to Bombay, it was a very different world for me altogether. I was allowed to play outside my house till 9 o'clock in the evening, which I think for me was like, what the hell just happened to me, you know? लाइफ में कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ था कि मुझे मेरी मम्मी ने कभी 9 बजे तक नहीं बोला कि भाई यू नो 5 बजे के बाद मतलब वो कोई ना कोई आ ही जाता था बुलाने के लिए, चलो घर चलो. You know, you couldn't play after that. But I feel like when these kind of things happen, these things happen to you from your childhood. You are made to believe that you know, that you are an inferior sex, you are vulnerable, you are weak right from the word go. And it's not their fault, honestly, because it's the mahal that we are living in. It's the kind of situation, the world we are living in. And it's also conditioning for our parents because they have seen a world. They have seen a world which is far more difficult than us. And it's very difficult for them to explain to us. And all they are trying to do is protect us through their actions. And I think that becomes conditioning of some sort after a certain amount of time. So wahi ho jata hai. Then you, obviously, then you're in your teens and you're rebellious and you're just like, arey, you know, what is it that I can do? And I used to often ask this question, yeah, what is it that I can do at night that I can't possibly do in the day? And you know, like my parents kind of, I mean, I think like that's when we started a dialogue at home. And I think that was a very big step for all of us to have a dialogue and to actually have, like, instead of just saying no, it's like it was reasoning. You know, so I think like it begins at home and it begins very young. And I think this conversation we don't have because it's not a conversation which is an easy one even for parents. Forget हम लोग के लिए तो मतलब बहुत ही दूर की बात है, लेकिन even for parents it's not an easy conversation. So how do they really make you understand these things? Through their protection, they're trying to they're protecting you, but they're also not having this conversation with you. So it begins young. And I mean, I think like the best thing that you can speak about this is like, you know, tell everybody what is your definition of violence? What does breakthrough mean by violence? Is it physical violence? Is it emotional violence? Is it mental violence? What sort of violence is this? Because domestic violence, if you know, if this conversation has to be continued, we first need to understand what violence is. मतलब कि मुझे चांटा पड़ा तो मैं चुप रहूं कि मैं डिवोर्स दे दूं. You know, like the film that Thappad that came out, it spoke about कि somebody got a slap and then she fight for a divorce. So is that normal? Is that okay? Yeah. I know there was a conversation around that film also. So it was like, so I remember somebody telling me कि क्या कोई like तमाचा भी नहीं जड़ सकता है अपनी बीवी को. And I was like it just became like a really weird conversation between me and this one gentleman I had. And I was like, that's not the point. I said the point is, what is violation? What is this violation of these human rights that you have? What are these? So do you want to define those for the people first?
Yeah. So that's a very interesting point, Ahana. And the fact that when we talk about DV, जब हम domestic violence के बारे में बात करते हैं, घरेलू हिंसा, so it gets associated with physical violence almost immediately, because I think that is the conditioning that we've all grown up with. It's the constant message that has been reinforced, whether it's through popular culture or anything that we read, कि अगर even with थप्पड़ की थप्पड़ पड़ा तो वो domestic violence है. It's just easier for people to comprehend because that's how one has always consumed that message, you know. But in effect, the DV is not just physical violence, you know, and also in that too there is this hierarchy कि एक ही थप्पड़ पड़ा तो कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, जब तक कि you know 2-4 नहीं पड़ेंगे या बहुत मार पिटाई नहीं होगी. Correct. That's then it kind of you know, it kind of creates that the severity of it seems to be much more. But in effect, domestic violence is really, it comes in many different forms. There's mental violence, there's emotional violence, there's economical violence, and all of this is not even, forget about acknowledged, it's so normalized. It is just something that we all live with. And if one starts looking around, even in our everyday lives, you know, and you kind of pay attention, one will see that there are so many instances that otherwise you would not really even think, because वो इतना ज़्यादा integrated है हमारी psyche में. And as you said, when we talk about conditioning, that continuous conditioning, obviously it feeds into norms, and Breakthrough as an organization works on shifting social norms that actually promote, enable, encourage, and make violence against women unacceptable. Because while there are the services and there is the law and all of that, and that's absolutely important, but the whole idea that it starts from within yourself, the whole idea of self-reflecting on what violence means. Are you in any way facing violence in your own life or in your environment around you? But before you even get to that point, just understanding ki violence hai kya, The other thing that happens with domestic violence is it kind of gets bracketed into this whole space of intimate partner, like, a husband, wife, or a couple. And then it gets categorized ki acha aur kuch nahi hai, Whereas within domestic violence is any kind of violence that's happening within a home, So that's one of the things that we are, as part of our campaign and the work that Breakthrough does, we actually work a lot on awareness around issues of domestic violence. And when we say awareness, there's a lot of myth busting. There is a lot of debunking of what violence stands for, because we understand and realize that beyond the work, beyond our own circle of where, working in social sector, the whole world out there understands and consumes violence in a very different way, So part of the work and part of this campaign that we are working on, and for those of you watching, please do go out and check the page. There is a link in our bio that talks about domestic violence, how Breakthrough actually works within the community, what is the impact that we are aiming to achieve. If you'd like to get associated with the campaign, if you'd like to donate, please be part of this, because the whole idea is to bring more and more voices together to actually make it everyone's problem. This whole othering of मेरे आसपास नहीं हो रहा है तो exist ही नहीं करता is something that we all struggle with, and then it becomes like this, as we said, the silent pandemic, which nobody really talks about. So that's one of the things that we are hoping to work on, to break it down and illustrate through examples, through our media, through talking to different influencers, and see that once people are on that journey of self-reflection, if they can actually within their own environment start calling it out. One of the things that always comes up is, पर हम क्या करें, like मुझे पता है कि ये issue है, or I have the intent also, or but one, it's a private matter, so especially if it's within between a husband and wife. So what do I do? So in that case, I think the one thing that we can all start doing is and this is something that you and I also spoke about in the morning. So one is actually listening to it in your neighborhood and going out and ringing the bell based on our campaign called Bell Bajao, which a lot of people are familiar with. But actually calling it out within your immediate environment, having conversations at home or with your friends, being mindful if somebody comes and talks to you about any kind of emotional or mental violence that they're facing in their relationship, listening to them and actually, giving it that importance, and or not like dismissing it as पर ये तो होता ही है, adjust कर लो, चला लो, शादी में तो, how you hear all of
But you know what the funny thing is, Priyanka, that we are taught from childhood. As I know about women, I don't know so much about men. Of course, men have their set of problems, and I think we should not even say that, because I know so many men, because my guy friends and everybody have been through this whole rubbish of कि यार लड़की की तरह क्या रो रहा है, क्या लड़की की तरह behave कर रहा है, and I swear to God, I used to say those things, क्या छोकरी की तरह act कर रहा है, don't be such a छोकरी. I stopped saying those things because I'm just like, why am I demeaning my own gender, and what do you mean by saying, because see, these things are कि ये चीजें हमको बचपन से सिखाई जाती है और कोई हमें correct नहीं करता है, and I'm telling you, it's really through my work I have figured out so many things, and I think for me lipstick has to be one of those really greatest breakpoints when I started actually having a conversation about women, understanding what women really feel. And it wasn't because I did the film, it was actually because when I sat through those panel discussions with Ratna ma'am, Coco, Plavita and Alankrita, I used to be on a panel with women, and everybody from their section of their society or from their age group used to bring their set of problems, and they used to have those conversations, and I used to be like, oh my God, I never even thought that this is a problem,
Yeah.
You know, to begin with. Small things, yeah. Yes, exactly. Somebody says boys don't cry. I mean, who the hell says boys don't cry? Please cry if you really want to, because trust me, it's better than, like, you know, going through rubbish or going through depression or going through any sort of mental trauma. Even, I mean, I've really stopped so many things. For example, like, I used to, I think, inflict violence upon myself when I used to allow people in my own house, allow my brother to do things while I was not allowed to do it. You know, so
Yeah.
things like you know, the very simple things, yeah, like going out at night, and if I want to go out with my friends for like a late night something, you know, like I want to go for a drive or, you know, out to a party, I remember, like, I had to really put up a fight here, while my brother was so easily, like, you know, allowed to go, and I was like, what, you just allowed him to go? So she was like, you know, and I remember this very evidently during college, and I was like, boss, like, this is not cool. You know, you've just, like, allowed him to, like, go scot free while I'm the one who's seeking permission. That's not cool. So I remember, like, I didn't say those things for the longest time till I started working and understanding that these are conversations that I need to begin at home.
Yeah.
So you really need to begin these conversations at home. If your parents or anybody are allowing any male member in your house to do something while you're not being allowed to do that, I think instead of getting into a fight, have a chat with you know, the elderly, you know, your parents or whoever's, like, you know, saying no to you. Have a conversation about it, as opposed to just saying no and, like, not giving an answer about it. So I think that's really something that begins at home. Again, as I said, I came to know about so many things, so many problems of women, about violence on women, when I remember when I watched Lipstick, and there was this one scene. I don't know if you've seen the film, but there was a scene, and I remember very clearly. I was watching. We had all gone together to Gaiety Galaxy, and we were all standing behind, and we were like, we'll watch the film with everybody, you know. And I think it was like the first or second day of, and all these women used to come, like, in groups, you know. I remember, like, these women would just come together, सारी की सारी 5-6 औरतें बैठी हुई हैं और वो सारी film देखने. And I remember this one scene of Coco where you know, Sushant's character, who's her husband, he stays in the Gulf, and he comes and he just, you know, he inflicts sexual violence on her, and she keeps producing children. Every time he comes, he has sex with her, and without any you know, any he just, like, you know, like, forces himself on her, and she is in pain, and he's not even bothered, you know. And I remember these women in front of us, they just started giggling, and, you know, it was just so weird because we had watched that film so many times, and I found that scene, like, horrible. Like, I used to, like, really, like, my eyes used to swell up, and I used to be like, what the fuck, you know. And I remember, like, I asked Alankrita, and I said, why are they giggling? And, you know, we had a really long discussion about it, and we realized that, you know, there's so many things that we don't talk about, and we find, you know, these things, we are insufficient to express ourselves. Anything that is uncomfortable, we giggle about it.
It's also a nervous kind of laughter, right?
It was a nervous giggle, and I was taken aback, and I was like, I cannot believe this has just happened. And it really did open my eyes to, like, this conversation. I was like, how is everybody okay with this? And this happens in India, this happens world over. Trust me, this film has played in Tokyo, it has played in America, it has played in Australia, and it has played in India in front of my eyes. And we've had the same reactions from the same women, I mean, from different women all across the globe about the same issue. So I was like, this is a story about a small town in Bhopal. How has it resonated across the globe? So it really did bring out a lot of conversations about women for me in the forefront. And I think I became aware of these conversations through you know, through this film. And of course, after that, like, the kind of work that I have picked up, everything has led to a conversation, and I think it's really made me a different person today. I look at myself differently, and I believe in having a conversation as opposed to inflicting violence upon myself or allowing that to happen on me. But I do understand that, you know, there are lots of women who don't even know about these things.
Also, the point to consider here is the ability to actually call it out. So, for example, the power dynamic, you know, that exists, and why when we talk about domestic violence within a home or within an intimate partner relationship, it's not always easy for a woman who's in a situation like this to, you know, come out and talk about it. And hence, actually having a support system or knowing that she's not in this on her own and the fact that somebody is going to try and be with her, if she actually, also it places a lot of burden on the woman to actually then stop it as well, or she's already going through a lot in that case. So hence all the more the idea that as a bystander in any shape or form that you are actually witnessing something like that, intervene, be supportive, create that system where, you know, this kind of, if something like this is happening, then it doesn't seem like I have nowhere to go to, you know, or you also take accountability as somebody who may not be getting affected by it right away, but it's happening in an environment that you are part of, right? And hence the idea of, and the contribution can come in many different ways. Like individually, like I said, we could actually take action in our immediate environment, or find a way to get associated with organizations that are actually doing the work around domestic violence. You know, sometimes it almost feels like when one donates that, you know, how is this actually making a difference? You know, that's a question that we get asked often, because, you know, people, while in one ways it seems like there a contribution has been made, but on the other hand, it feels like, okay, where is this going? The problem is so big. Is this enough to just give money? You know, but in that sense, it's something to reflect upon, that not everybody can actually get associated in the same way. So if in any possible way that one can actually be part of the movement is something that, as long as one understands that, you know, each one of us has a responsibility to be doing whatever is within our own resources, whatever is within the time that we can give, that's something that one should really take, you know, think about and reflect upon. Also, just wanted to ask you, Anna, your own journey, and, you know, you were talking about lipstick and the fact that, you know, that actually became one of the things that led to you thinking about things that you never really thought about earlier. What does that journey look like for you in the last few years, in the sense that, what is the transformation? What are the things that you're doing now that you may not have done like 5 years back, as part of, have you noticed a lot more violence around you, or is it something that you're able to identify?
Well, to begin with, of course, this is the first thing that I started doing after I think I had a chat about about all these panel discussions that I was in lipstick. The first thing that I actually started doing was stop buying sanitary napkin with brown paper bag, and I was like, I should not be afraid of my body. I should not be I shouldn't be conservative about the fact that I get periods, because this is something that all women get, even boys who are boys. Their mothers have given them birth, right? And the mothers have all been through periods. So let's all first accept ourselves and accept our bodies and accept ourselves who we are. And let's stop behaving like this is something which is weird or it's unacceptable or something that I cannot have a conversation about. And I remember, like, earlier from set, I always used to give some silly excuses to go to my vanity. And now I just like quietly just, go up to my director or, my co-actor, whoever I need to, like, I'm usually the director or my AD. And I just tell them I've got my period and I'm going to go. So this is the first and foremost thing that I learned as an actor, as for myself, as a woman on a set, on a film set. To really not inflict myself through that kind of violence, not quietly suffer or let things happen. So first and foremost that. Secondly, a really important thing that I would like to, I know we're talking about my journey, but I think like through this lockdown, the one thing that I have seen, and in most houses I have seen this, is that that the men do not help. And this is not cool. And I feel like, it's very easy to talk about share the load, but are you really sharing the load? Are you really like helping your wives take care of your children, or maybe cooking one meal or 2 meals or 3 meals, whichever it is? Are you dividing the work equally, or is it always supposed to be a woman's job to be doing everything from morning to night and cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids? Is it all right to do that? I think that's another kind of violence, and I really think that's like a mental violence, because I feel like there are lots of women who work from home and they should not be inflicting this upon themselves. The men should really come forward and divide work between themselves and the wives, so that I think there'll be, first of all, less divorces, because this is also going to lead to like women going crazy and like, wanting to get into fights. So I just wanted to bring that point up in the middle, because I was like, I'm going to forget about it. But yes, having said that, I think my greatest journey through lipstick has been the kind of roles I have accepted after the film, because I was like, I don't just want to, just do something for the sake of being someone or just be a prop in a film. I definitely want to have a role. I want to be able to experiment with different parts. I definitely don't want to be told that I cannot do this. I mean, in fact, I think through my journey of, being an actor, every time like somebody's told me that I can't do it, I try my level best to do it so that I can achieve that and be like, okay, you know what, I tried it. And I think, that's another conversation. So
Yeah.
my journey has been really different, but I really feel that I really have to like say thanks to my profession that it has let me or allowed me to do that and like, really experiment and really navigate that I can actually physically achieve these things or not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess every little step does count because eventually we are talking about very deep rooted, hardwired norms, and we are really talking about thinking that has been fed over like generations. So,
Yeah.
it's not going to be easy, but as long as each one of us does whatever is possible, like it's like chipping away at it slowly but steadily, so
Yeah.
anything that we can do, is going to be helpful. In fact, one of the things that you had brought up earlier on when we had just started this conversation, that coming back to COVID and the lockdown and how cases of domestic violence have gone up, this whole thing around how everything feels very heavy. So people are dealing with so much, there's the lockdown, then there's the limitation, then there's the fear and the panic. So when we start talking about domestic violence in between all this, then this whole idea ki, अरे but अभी एक और issue मत लेके आ जाओ ना, because right now it's not so important because there are more important things to look at, and it's something, or it's probably going to go away. Right now it's happening because the men are all at home and everybody is frustrated and, it's so much easier and people don't have work. So ये तो हो ही जाएगा, right? But the point is, it's none of that matters, It's not about being heavy, and there's a lot of fatigue around it also. कि अरे इसके बारे में तो सब बात कर रहे हैं. But how is it that we can actually get past all of that, and we can constantly bring everyone back to this point that no, it's still important to talk about this issue and it's not going to go away. It has existed and it's going to carry on. And yes, there is another problem and there are a million other things that we are dealing with. But that doesn't mean that if you encounter something like this, you can kind of relegate it under the carpet saying, isko kal dekhenge ya parson ya I'm going to shut my eyes, and it doesn't exist, So in fact, that is one of the things that we've been hearing a lot, even from the point of view of a lot of influencers talking about it. Ki, Acha, ek aur video ya ek aur conversation. In fact, that's also the conversation you brought up in the video that you did for us, and which was fabulous. The fact that, that's not how it's meant to be looked at. And please sit back, think about it and do something, intervene, act, donate, volunteer, whatever it is possible for you to do.
So Priyanka, why don't you tell everybody like through Breakthrough, if like they reach out to you, if anybody knows that there's violence happening either in their house or anywhere around their neighborhood with their neighbors and everything, is it how do people reach out to you guys and tell you guys, can they report this issue to you and then you will intervene with with like police, or how does it work?
So Breakthrough works on, we are not a service delivery organization. We actually work on social norms. But what we've been doing in the last 2.5, 3 months through the lockdown is we've been working with various different government, we've been working with a lot of government departments at the state level, at the national level. We've been working with the NCW in a few different ways. One, we've kind of been putting out a lot of helpline numbers and also going back and checking whether these helpline numbers work and what is the response mechanism that all of these government departments are actually putting together. Because through this lockdown, like there have been reports of domestic violence cases actually doubling up. So the number of calls that, all of these helplines are getting, there has to be a response mechanism in place where if somebody calls, there is adequate assistance in whatever shape or form it's required. So for example, whether it's at the GP level, whether it's at the state level or at the national level. So what Breakthrough does is, on that side, we work with a lot of government departments to strengthen those response strengthening mechanisms. At the same time, we've got a long list. We've got the list of helplines that people can call. We can try to connect, and depending on where one is, whether it's at the state level, whether it's the village level, we can try to connect people to the relevant organizations, individuals who in their area are actually working on the issue. So it's really about trying to create those linkages, because there is a system that exists, which it's not completely functional, but it exists. And then there is a problem that exists. So part of the work that Breakthrough does is to create that linkage and be the bridge to try and see that, there is a way to actually bring both of these together. And largely because our work, and at the same time, because our work is on social norms, so then we work a lot around awareness around domestic violence, talking about the issue, keeping the fire going, even in times where it seems like, okay, this can be, relegated to the corner or something like that. So primarily, if somebody reaches out to us, anybody who's facing violence or anybody who knows someone who is, we will actually try to connect them to, an official or a department or an individual who can then take that thing forward for them. So for us, being that bridge is something that we actually work on, and it's something that we try to kind of create that linkage for.
So, okay, so my understanding of Breakthrough now, I mean, after speaking to you, is that, so this is for everybody, whoever's watching, is that if you know anybody who's going through violence, male, female, anyone that you know in your neighborhood, in your own houses, there are lots of times that you want to help, but you don't know how to reach out or how do you help. So it's basically, you can reach out to Breakthrough, and Breakthrough will connect you to the right organization, give you a helpline number, maybe help you really follow this entire process through and not just leave it halfway. I think it's important that you know that these are the problems that exist. You are aware of these problems, which are, the lines of domestic violence. And I think you also just go on to the Breakthrough's website and see what kind of violences you can see being inflicted on others, or if it's inflicting upon you, then you can reach out directly to Breakthrough, if that's right, Priyanka.
Yes, absolutely. And actually, talking about the website, there's a link in the bio that takes you to the page that talks about our work on domestic violence and everything that we are trying to do. And in any way that one wants to get associated with us, it's a movement that we are trying to build. We are trying to take it beyond, beyond the social sector. We want to kind of bring in a lot of people to put, their voice as well as whatever it is possible for them in any way that they can contribute. So please, Pahana, thank you for that. But really, if you could go and check the page out and be part of this and spread the message, and in your own capacity, intervene and act. I mean, every little step counts, every little action really counts. It's just, please don't be a silent bystander. It's an issue that, we should all come together for, and it's everyone's problem. So thank you, Ahana, so much for this conversation.
Thanks,
really
Priyanka,
appreciate all the time.
I'm glad I did.
And the support that you've kind of given us. And hopefully, this will lead to something, something sustainable, something longer. It's a conversation that needs to carry on. So thank you so much for being part of this for us today, with us today.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. Thank you so much. All the best. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.